上当百年，欺世大官。
Hello everyone, welcome to Deception of the World. See many audiences message and ask for stories about history and celebrities. Today, we are going to talk about West Point. The Chinese hero Lei Feng has become the idol of the US military academy at West Point. Really? You haven't heard of it before, right? But there are indeed many Chinese people who visit Lei Feng at West Point Military Academy every year. What's going on here? Before the show starts, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Now back to our topic. As we all know, the world-famous United States West Point is the first military academy in the United States, often referred to as West Point. It is one of the 4 largest military academies in the world, along with the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst, the Russian Military Academy at Voronezh, and the French Military Academy at Saint-Cyr. The official name of West Point is the U.S. Army ROTC. The name West Point is because it's on the west bank of the Hudson River in Orange County of upstate New York. West Point is 80 kilometers from New York City, and the school covers an area as large as 16,000 acres, which is 1 circle larger than San Marino, the 5th smallest country in the world, and the country within a country in Italy. After the independence of the United States, one of the founding fathers, George Washington, valued the place of West Point and wanted to build a national military school there, because it happened to be at the S bend of the Hudson River, where he could control all the river traffic. But his Secretary of State, Thomas Jefferson, countered that the U.S. Constitution did not give the president the power to create a military academy. However, by the time Jefferson, another founding father, became the 3rd president of the United States, he signed a law on March 16, 1802, and established the U.S. Military Academy, which opened its doors on Independence Day, July 4th of that year. By next year, 2022, West Point will have celebrated its 220th anniversary. This military school is world famous, in addition to being established by the founding fathers, but also because of its students and alumni, shining with a number of generals' names: Eisenhower, Grant, MacArthur, Lee Chi-wei, and so on. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who is the headache for the CCP, also graduated from West Point with a Bachelor of Engineering Management as a top scholar. We are introducing West Point because the latter is going to lead to the CCP's envy and jealousy of it. In particular, the Communist Party's mouthpiece media and literati have created 3 big rumors that have fooled many Chinese people, and I'm sure that some of our friends have been trapped. If you don't believe me, please keep watching. Because of how famous West Point is, there have been a number of lies about West Point spreading in China, and the most widely spread are: first, West Point built a statue of the communist soldier Lei Feng, which also became a model for the students of the school to study. Second, Mao's famous article on the protracted war. It's a required text for students to read at West Point. Thirdly, the Battle of Shanganling in the North Korean War is a classic example in the textbook of West Point. Here, please follow us to see who made up these odd stories, and then listen to us reveal the truth behind them. First of all, let's talk about the big lie about West Point to learn from Lei Feng. In the 1990s, the party media Xinhua News Agency reporter Li Zhuren mentioned in an article introducing the deeds of Lei Feng, the spirit of Lei Feng not only blossomed in the land of China, but also to the world. Even the famous U.S. Military Academy at West Point has erected a statue of Lei Feng in the school, as one of the 10 heroic models of West Point for students to learn. Good Lord, the U.S. military actually learned from the communist hero Lei Feng? Can this be believed? But it is the top party media. Can this be falsified? So, this article was quickly and widely reproduced by many mainland media, greatly exaggerated and embellished. For example, on February 2nd, 1990, the Communist Party's Central People's Radio broadcasted sensational news that Lei Feng has gone aboard. This was followed by an even more true report saying the West Point Military Academy is carrying out a campaign to learn from Lei Feng. Portraits of Lei Feng are posted on the campus. Cadets recite his diary, and quotes from him are transcribed in classrooms. Everyone, just listen to these big words. They take from the West Point just like the Communist Party's military academy. What a big excitement. This kind of news also excited many Chinese people. Some of our compatriots who went to New York particularly went to West Point to visit the statue of Lei Feng on the campus, to take a picture and post it to their friends. But they were disappointed when they went there because they were surprised to find that it was just a tale. In 1997, the last paragraph of Li Shengzhi's article, Noble on Confucius, published in the first issue of the magazine Reading, mentioned, for more than 100 years, it seems that Chinese people have not yet got rid of a mentality that a person, a thing, or a commodity seems to feel special glory as long as it gets a foreigner's praise or a foreign-style name. A few years ago, there was a rumor that the U.S. Military Academy at West Point had a portrait of Lei Feng as a model for American soldiers to follow. I asked a Chinese professor who teaches there about this, and the answer was, "I've never heard of it." Mr. Li's article was the first in China to debunk the lies about learning from Lei Feng at West Point. In 2002, due to the renovation and expansion of Lei Feng Memorial Hall under the request of military command, the curator, Zhang Sufen, made a special trip to the United States to collect some documentation of Lei Feng's spirit influence on the West Point Military School. While a lot of money was spent on the trip, she did not find any materials related to Lei Feng. She was afraid of being questioned for an explanation when she got back and being complained about travel at public expense by his college. Then, she simply gave out some Lei Feng related souvenirs to the school and shamelessly declared West Point said to take Lei Feng souvenirs as teaching materials after she got back to the country. Lady, are you playing some kind of tricks? Our ancestors say this is called self-deception, you know. On March 28 of the same year, West Point officials again made a statement clarifying that the school had never studied Lei Feng and wanted the Chinese media to correct it. It said that the military school had received more than 10,000 visitors from the Communist China who had come to look for a statue of Lei Feng for more than 2 years. The school had to spend a lot of manpower and resources to dispel the rumors and was exhausted. If I were a Chinese employee at West Point, I would definitely give more useful suggestions. That's it for West Point Part 1. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time on West Point Part 2.